And the second thing we're going to do now is set up our jump. Remember, before you could make her jump up the walls, and we don't want that. You don't want accidents as part of your game. If you needed to jump up the walls intentionally, that's different. But we're going to make a different jump, and I want to show you a very useful block. So to get her to move up, we need to move her in the positive y direction. These numbers are getting bigger as they go up. So we know we'll need a number block. And we don't use velocity for this. We use impulse because we want it to be sudden and then like a spring. And for this, you do not want to repeat because you only want her to jump once when you press the button. I'm going to label this jump so I know what it's for. And I want her to move in the positive direction. And I'm going to set it to positive 12. But I want to show you something what happens if we try to do this now. And I hit play. She can infinite jump because you can just keep pressing this button. So we have to ask ourselves, when do we want her to jump or be able to? We want her to be able to jump when she is standing on a ground block, not in the middle of the air. So we have to tell our code only jump when she is touching a ground block. We are going to first delete these wires. We're going to get something called a Raycast. That's this right here. And if you hover over it, you see it says send an invisible ray to check for objects. So this thing actually shoots out a little laser or ray to secretly check to see if it's near an object. And we want this to work when we press down on this button, the W button, which is our jump button. And if it hits an object, we want it to jump. If it misses, we don't care about this, right? So if it hits the ground, we want to get the number 12 and send it to our impulse spring so it moves in the y direction 12 pixels with a force, with a force of 12. So let's open our Raycast. And now you have this. This is where naming comes important. Remember, we named our block ground block. That is because we have to tell other code which block we want it to detect. So select your ground block. And then they have this angle. 0 is forward and forward is right. So we want to go 90, which is down. And I'm going to move this so you can see what's going on. Watch what happens here. Look at this white line. That is the ray. So we want the length of the ray to be pretty short because that is what it's going to detect. If it's too long, she could be in the air and it would still touch the ground. So we want it to be very, very short. This is up to you how short you want it to be. I'm going to make it about 20. And now she is touching the ground with that ray. If I hit play and hit the W key, she jumps, and she won't jump in the air. She will only jump. This will only let the rest of this work if that ray is touching the ground. So now, over to the wall and see if we can jump up the wall. No, we can't. This works. Our jump works. You always want your game to do exactly what you want it to do, not other things. So I'm going to hit play and test our game because I think there might be one more little artifact that we want to get rid of. There. Sometimes if you hit it just right, she sticks to the wall, and we don't want that either. And that is because of her collider. The collider shape is important. That is under physics. And if you look, you have a collision shape. This is like an invisible aura around the player that detects when she's hitting other objects. And with a player, you want it as a capsule because she's more of an oval than a circle, and it's flat on one side. So now if we hit play, now she won't stick. So we go back into the behaviors. We'll go into your, and what you're going to do is pause the video and get this set up and tested. Make sure your array is at the right length that you want it, and change your collider to a capsule collider. When you're done, we're going to do the final thing. Go back to your behaviors, and I'm going to show you how to bundle them. Okay, pause the video and get this set up. Okay, now that we have everything working, what we want to do is save this whole behavior set that we made. This is a run and jump, and we're going to make a bundle out of it. It's pretty easy to do. You can do this with any group of code that you have. You're going to go down here and select this tool, drag over everything, and here I'm going to do that again so you can see it better. Select this tool, drag over everything you want in the bundle, and then you get this option down here. Just hit bundle, click on it, give it a good name. I'm going to do my run and jump, then add it to the menu, and you have a block of code that you made yourself. And you can find that down in your behavior bundles. Here it is. And anytime you want to add it to another player, you can just click on this and you have all this code inside. So do the behavior bundle, get that in the menu, and then when you're done and you got everything working, you can go ahead and start designing your first level with some ground blocks that you want. You can use wall blocks too if you want. Just make sure you're keeping things organized. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.